So you have a race or a long run coming up. A long run means something different for everyone. Don't think of it as the distance, but more so the time. If it takes you longer than an hour or an hour and a half, you're going to need to take some extra steps to prepare for that. Here's some tips on what to do before your run. First, you want to focus on fueling. It's a common misconception that you need to carbo load the night before a race or a long run, but this actually needs to begin a couple days before. Eating a heavy meal the night before is going to leave you feeling full, uncomfortable, heavy, and possibly lead to an upset stomach during the race, which is not something you want. So, what do you eat leading up to a race or a long run? You want to eat carbohydrates because this is your body's primary source of energy during that run. Eat like you normally would, but add in extra carbs throughout the week, such as fruits, grains, and legumes like rice, beans, and oatmeal, but don't go overboard. Since you're likely tapering, you're not running or exercising as much. Therefore, you're not using as much as those carbs as you normally are through a regular week of exercise. So by reducing the activity, you're naturally increasing the carbs that are stored in your body, which is saving it for that race and long run. Use your long runs as practice for your fueling strategy. Each long run is an opportunity to experiment with what works best for your body. So if you're traveling for a race, plan ahead and bring the food that you've been practicing with throughout your training. Here are some ideas of different foods to carb up with before your run. Think of oatmeal with berries or banana and peanut butter, sweet potatoes, grains like rice, quinoa, couscous, legumes like lentils or beans, and fruits and veggies are great carbohydrate sources that pack a punch of vitamins and minerals. Although I prefer to fuel with plant sources, there are other less fibrous options like bagels and granola bars. Again, practice your fueling before your long run to make sure the fiber in the foods don't mess with your stomach on race day. You also want to start hydrating a few days before as well. If you gradually increase your food and water consumption a few days leading up to the race, you won't be left feeling bloated and heavy trying to cram it all in the day before. Your body can only absorb so much at a single time. So to recap, start fueling a few days early with water and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are your body's primary source of energy during a run. By exercising less the week before your race, you're naturally storing up those carbs for your long run or race that following weekend. And also, practice makes perfect. Use that long run to practice your fueling strategy.